select all the relations that represent a function. So you're going to have to think to yourself, how do I know whether something is a function or not? And then you're going to have to look through all of them because it says select all, meaning there might be more than one that's a function, okay? So you take a minute and think about that. All right, so we're going to look through each one here. How about this first one? Give me a thumbs up if you think that's a function and a thumbs down if you think it's not. Somebody who said it's not a function, can you tell us why you said it wasn't, Anna? Perfect. If we have a repeat in the x's, like that's not allowed. You can't have 7 paired with 4 and then also paired with 8. That's not allowed. We don't want to choose that one. What about the second one? Give me thumbs up if you think it's a function, thumbs down if it's not. That one is, because we don't have any repeats. All the x's are unique. You don't see any of them more than once. So that one is a function. What about this one? Give me thumbs up if that's a function, thumbs down if it's not. Everybody should be voting. We should be thumbs up because there are no repeats in these x's. Each x is only paired with one y. Doesn't matter if the y's repeat, right? It's the x that's not allowed to repeat. So this is a function. We want to pick that one. Now, don't stop just because you found one that's a function because it says select all. There might be more than one. Well, we've already gotten more than one. You got to keep going. You got to look through all of them. Would this be a function? Thumbs up or thumbs down? That's a definite thumbs down because you got 4 paired with 5, also paired with 8, and paired with 0. We definitely don't want to pick that one. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the vertical line test. When you have a picture, if you draw a vertical line and it only touches the graph once, that means it's a function. Like there's nowhere where I can draw a line and it's going to touch more than once. Same thing down here. Anywhere where I try to, even though that's a funky looking graph, there's never a place where a vertical line would touch the graph more than once. Okay, so anyway, both of these then would be a function. So we want to check the box for both graphs here. Guys, let me show you a picture of a function of something, that would not be a function. If something looked like that maybe, see how like if I draw a line, it touches twice. That's no good because like if this were 2 for x, you have 2 paired with something up here, but then you also have 2 paired with something down here. That would be an example of something that is not a function, okay? So that's, we should have checked the box for 4 things and then not checked 2 of them, okay? We're going to continue working on what we did yesterday. So remind me real quick. Somebody raise your hand and tell me one thing I need to know to write the equation of a line. Kale, slope. Somebody else tell me the other thing I need to know. Ryan, y-intercept. Perfect. Once I know those things, what's the formula for how I can write the equation of a line? Elise? Perfect. So we got a 3-step process we learned yesterday. Step 1 is find the slope if you don't know it. Step 2, this was brand new stuff yesterday, how you can find the y-intercept if you don't know it, and then you'll be ready to write your equation. We're going to review that 3-step process right now, okay? So write the equation of a function that has the values f of 4 equals 9 and f of negative 4 equals negative 7. What should I do on this one before I can even do the 3-step process? Anna? Yes, I need to rewrite these as ordered pairs. Remember, what's inside the parentheses is your x, and then this number is your output, or y. So again, over here, what's inside the parentheses is your x. This is your output, or your y. Now that I have ordered pairs, I can do step 1, which is find the slope. So I'm going to have to do the slope formula, right? If I had a picture, I could just count rise over run. If I don't have a picture, here's my x1 and y1, x2 and y2. You take a minute and just find the slope for me. So we're going to take negative 7 minus 9 over negative 4 minus 4. That's negative 16 divided by negative 8 we need to do. And yes, that's just positive 2. Write your answer as simply as you can, okay? Okay, step 2 is find the y-intercept. Let's check first if we know the y-intercept. Would this point be on the y-axis if I graphed it? Or would this point be on the y-axis if I graphed it? Give me a thumbs up if you think we know the y-intercept and a thumbs down if you think we don't. I need to see everybody vote so I can see your thoughts. Guys, you could make a picture if you don't know, like 4, 9 would be somewhere to the right and up here. Negative 4, 7 will be somewhere down here. Like neither one of those points is on the y-axis. Remember, if x is 0, it would be on the y-axis, but x is not 0 in either one of these points. So we have to do the new thing we learned yesterday. So make sure you're taking good notes because you're going to have to do this yourself on Edulastic in a minute. We're going to fill in our slope that we found to right here. And then we're going to fill in numbers for x and y. What numbers do we fill in for x and y? Either 4 and 9 or negative 4 and, like, you're going to pick one of your points. Let's just go ahead and use this one. What if I'm going to use this point, what am I going to put in place of y? 9. Good. And that means 4 in place of x. Don't forget that this has to say plus b here still, because we don't know b. We had numbers to fill in for x and y and m, but we don't know b, right? This is going to help us find b. So if we just do 2 times 4 to 8, don't forget we still have plus b. So to get b alone, we would just want to get rid of this 8, because 8 minus 8 is 0, right? So then it would say 1 equals b. So now if we know b, we're ready to write our equation. We'll just take our slope that we found back here. M is slope, right? So we want to make sure but we put 2 where M is. And then we just found b on this step, so we can fill 1 in for b. And there we go. That's our equation. Remember I taught you yesterday if it were a quiz and you wanted to check your work, you could go type this in y equals and go look at your table. And both of these points had better be in the table, because if they're not, you did something wrong, because the equation is supposed to, the line is supposed to go through those 2 points. So if your line doesn't go through those 2 points, that's no good. Something went wrong, okay? Questions on that? All right, we're going to do one more and then we're going to start Edulastic. So same thing, just so you have the process. Write the equation for the linear function with values f of negative 2 equals 10. Let's change that to an ordered pair, first thing. And f of 4 equals negative 2. That's 4 comma negative 2. What's step 1 again? What do I need to know first, Kale? This, yep, the slope. We got to find m first. So you got to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we've got negative 2 minus 10 over 4 minus negative 2. Negative 2 minus 10 is negative 12, and then 4 minus negative 2 is like 4 plus 2, that's 6. And then when we divide negative 12 by 6, we're going to get negative 2. Okay, do we know the y-intercept? Is either one of these points on the y-axis? Nope, because the x would have to be 0. So if we don't know the y-intercept, we got to do the steps to find it. Guys, this is your last chance to take good notes right now. Like when we start Edulastic in a minute, we got to make sure if we don't know what to do, the first thing we're going to do is look back at our notes. So make sure you're taking good notes right now. We're going to take our formula, and we don't know b, okay? But we do know m now, right? Where m is, we can fill in negative 2. We just found that. What could I put in place of the y and the x? Kale? Yeah, good. I can take one of my points, and I need to make sure, like, this is x, this is y, so I would need to put 10 where y is. And then I had -2 for the slope already. It just so happens this x value is also -2. So that's how I'm going to set it up. Does anybody have any questions on how I got that part that's written in black? Okay, so then I'm going to do -2 times -2. I'm just going to rewrite everything here, except I'm going to do -2 times -2. That's 4. Then I'm going to go ahead and take away 4 so that I can get B alone. That's the goal, right? I'm trying to find B. I don't know the y-intercept. I'm trying to find it. 10 minus 4 is 6. So now I know the slope, I know the y-intercept, so I'm ready to write my equation, step 3. So my slope was -2. We found that on step 1. My y-intercept I found on step 2, +6. So there is my equation. Guys, technically we should write it, sorry, I forgot to do this on the last one. We should really write it in function notation. Remember, it's just a fancy way to write y, but since it was given to us in function notation, we really should write it like that, okay? Guys, when you do your assignment, don't forget, sometimes you might know the y-intercept already. If you don't, then I had better, look at me please for one more second, I had better see 3, let me re-highlight it, 1, 2, 3 steps of work on your paper every time you have to find the y-intercept. Now, if you don't know the slope, that's also should be 3 steps of work. This is why I left the whole back of your notes blank, because this is a lot of work that we have to write down today, okay? So go ahead and get your Edge Elastic open and get started, please.